Welcome back. You don't need a large yard to have something like that looking out at you from your window. That is an example of a unique container garden.
I love that.
That is unique.
It is pretty, it's pretty
You know
cool.
what? I have one of those.
Oh, you do?
I do, and it's in my house.
Of course it is. Probably next to your bed, right?
No, it's in the living room. I'll show you when you come over. Isn't that fun?
Yes, it is fun. Yeah, and Kari, I know you live in an apartment, but
Right.
you said that you have room to do something like container
Yeah, a
gardens.
container would be perfect because, you know, we don't get a ton of sunshine, but we just have a nice little corner. It would be great to try and grow something there.
Something,
Something,
yes. And
anything.
There's so much out there and so many things that you can do, as David Snodgrass with Dennis's 7Ds showed us recently. Check it out.
All right, so with David Snodgrass at Dennis's 7Ds, the Cedar Hills location right near where I live, and we're talking about container gardens, and you've got some really different and unique ones here.
Yeah, we do, Jenny. And let's start with this one right here. It's a strawberry pot. Typically, you could plant strawberries and
Oh, very cool.
yeah, but this is another application, and we're putting all of our succulents in here, sedums, and just a great mix of different combinations of sedums. It's a great, interesting pot. There's also a formula, and I always start with the thriller, which is the focal point of interest, and then there's the filler, and these are the plants, heucheras here, and some of the grasses. This is the filler part of it, and then there's the spiller part, and there's plants like this fuchsia that is going to hang down, and so you're taking into account all three elements of a display in a container.
All right, so this looks very Lady Gaga.
There's all kinds of different creative pots that you can use, and this one happens to be a vase that looks like it's been in the garden for years and years and years, which adds a little bit of interest to it. And then the head is a planter, the top of the head, and so here we've actually designed this so that there's a carex up here that it's going to grow curly leaves to it. Looks like it's got a perm.
Yes, he has a nice perm.
And then a plant that complements the color is going to trail down.
And then standing next to me is this big pot that looks kind of tropical. I mean, it's very exotic.
This is one that would like partial sun or shade, and so it's important that when you pick a theme like that, that all of the plants can take that same exposure. So here we've got a red banana, and it's going to grow big, and it's going to be massive at the end of the summer. And then complemented, that would be the thriller. And then below that is going to be the filler, some of the grasses and some of this flowering plant that is going to fill in here. And then the spiller is going to be these plants right here that are going to trail down. Notice that all of the colors complement the pot.
We want to actually make one of these container gardens, and so the first step would be picking a pot.
Right, so that is the first thing to do, and I've chosen this pot. It's a gorgeous pot. It's got a little bit of gloss to it. It's got some nice blues and greens. So I got a lot of colors to work with here. So then the next thing to do is to go around and choose the plants to go into the pot. And so I've made that round, and I've chosen these plants. This is going to be my thriller right here, and picking up a nice contrast with the color of the pot. And then same colors that work well. These are the fillers, and they're going to get a medium height in here. And then I'm going to have the spiller is going to be million bells, and when this starts to bloom, it's going to really cover down to the ground, actually, the pot, and really pretty flowers on it. Here's what I would do with the pot. First of all, I would make sure that it had some legs on it, some feet, and so this is a pot stand, and so I would
And why is that important?
put that under. It's going to protect, if it's on a deck, it will allow air circulation, and it's going to keep the pot, if the pot is touching the ground, it's going to keep it a little too moist, and then it'll deteriorate faster. So that's the first trick. The second trick is to take something to cover the drain hole in the bottom with a little bit of a filter, but then not let the soil to flow through out the holes. The next trick that you can do is I'm going to put packing balls in there. These are styrofoam. They're filler is what they are. The water will drain right through them, but it just displaces some of the need for soil. And then I'm going to put some filter fabric on top of that, and then I'm ready to go ahead and put the soil in. This is a slow release fertilizer. It lasts up to 4 months, so you don't have to fertilize on a regular basis. This will take care of it. And so I'm going to add this to the soil before I plant.
This took just a matter of minutes for you to put this together, and there's a reason behind that.
A lot of preparation went into it.
Yeah.
Did you notice when I chose the plants, when I put them on the ground, I put them in the order exactly how I was going to plant them in the pot, and so it made it really easy to plant.
Yeah, that's a little trick of the trade there. Well, thank you so much, David, for showing us some examples of different container gardens and just, ways you can do it when you don't have a lot of space.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Jenny.
Thanks.
Oh, David Snodgrass, he was moving fast there.
He is Superman.
He is Superman. I know. He showed me he had a big S for Snodgrass that he. Hey, we want to give Dennis' 70s a big thank you for sponsoring today's garden segment. You can visit a location near you. They have 5 garden centers, or check them out on the web, dennis70s.com.